This is Not Hanson again. This video is part of my show and tell series, which is about sharing your art in a digital world. And today we're going to concentrate on using videos to do that sharing. Now, video is very popular at the moment on social media. You've got things like stories in Facebook and Instagram. These are really as short distractions or entertainment for people. Then you've got YouTube and Facebook Live and Vimeo, several other longer form videos, and people normally go to those looking to find out how to do things, perhaps just being a little bit better educated. Both these forms of video give you the opportunity to create your own provenance and show your art to many more people than you would normally see visit a local gallery. But video is a complicated issue, conjuring up ideas of expensive hardware, complex formats to understand, and hours of editing. I can attest to that one. This used to be the case, but today we've got facilities and software such as Zoom meetings. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. A Zoom meeting can be recorded, and that's can create quite a decent video. Today I'm going to actually look at a product called Zoom. It's another free bit of software that runs in your browser, and it particularly can record the video, store it, process it, and set it up in a format that's easy to share on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere. Just to convince you that I don't need anything too complicated, I've got a Pitt pen marker, got some scrap paper to draw cartoons on, I've got my phone to be a video camera, and I'm using a fairly simple web camera. That's all you need to create a video like I'm creating today. So sharing your work in this way, so even people that aren't really attuned to art, gives your work some authenticity and goes a long way to establishing a very good provenance for any potential future researchers looking into your art life. Anyway, I'm going to switch over to the fun part, to my webcam now, and I'm going to show you how I sort of put a cartoon together. I've already got part of the cartoon drawn, and now I need to just draw in the main character, Lila. I've already sort of roughly penciled her in. These characters I do partly by hand, and then she's got to have earrings and maybe a part of her face in there. She always wears pearls, so I'll put those over the top. And she's got her cleaning gloves on. Not a very good hand, but doesn't matter, she's just a cartoon. Put the cleaning gloves back on. She's got a bit of a So that's basically the inking in stage, and now I have to go to my scanner. So I'm just going to use a traditional scanner. I've got a HP scanner, inkjet. It's the sort that doesn't cost a heck of a lot more than the cost of one set of inks. So it's all plastic construction, and the scanner itself, you shouldn't really expect it to be too high quality. And I'm just going to demonstrate that by showing you the basics of the scanner. Make myself a bit smaller, start up the scanner. This is the software that you can get for this particular printer. And I could scan a document, and that's its best use, but you can also scan photos. I'm just going to twiddle my thumbs here because it's not a very fast process with flatbed scanning. It's doing some sort of calibration for itself. Hasn't actually got on. It's going to show the scan now. So I can rotate the scan and I can save it. Just give it the name. Okay, that's it. I'll come back and we'll have a look at scanning in a different way that's more useful for my on a different screen this time, and a different program. This program is one that I will definitely show people how to download and use. It's called Paintnet, and it's got quite an old-fashioned way to access the scanner, and it's actually, in my opinion, a much better way to do it. It's faster, and you can control the resolution that you're scanning at. So I'll just make myself a bit smaller, and we'll go into a system called Acquire, and that attaches to the printer that I've got, the HP printer, and it runs a little utility within the driver of the printer. So you've got to download the drivers, and I can just do it in black and white. I can actually change the resolution, and this 300 dots per inch is actually quite a high resolution. I can also change the brightness if it's not scanning too well. It'd probably be okay. I'd use a decent pen. Probably won't scan pencil without darkening it, but I'm not really so worried. So this is Lila. I have rubbed out most of the pencil lines, but there probably still are some there. And you can see it came up with a preview very quickly. It'll only scan the area that I've set up to scan. So compared with the default bit of software you get for scanning pictures, this is much quicker and high resolution. Okay, so in this bit of software, I can go and just flip it counterclockwise. There's some things that I actually want to get rid of, so I'll actually, and I'm using a Wacom pen here, and I'm just going to get rid of some ink lines there I don't want. Can tidy up that. Tidy up this a little bit. There's a spot there. I'm going to use a package called CorelDraw, and I've just pasted Lila in there. You can see I've already done some work on all of them. You can see that I've brought the high resolution image in. I'll just try and squash that down. The picture in the background you can see is actually an A4 sheet. So you can appreciate that she's come in quite high resolution. And I like CorelDraw. I've had it for a long time. I actually designed these cartoon characters around using CorelDraw, and it works a lot like Adobe Illustrator in that it's using line work, and you can manipulate the line work in an illustration type environment. CorelDraw has a terrific tracing capability, and I'll just do that now. It's called Quick Trace, and what it'll do, it's going to tell me it wants the bitmap smaller, which every illustrator and cartoonist knows. You draw it bigger, and when they print it a bit smaller. The line work looks a lot healthier than when I drew it. So now what it's done is it's taken the original bitmap, which is this one, and it's created some line work of different colours. So I'll just get rid of that, and we'll bring this back over here. And the first thing I'll do is just ungroup that object, ungroup. And now I've got a whole series of lines, and for instance, should be able to put in the background. I can pull up the gloves and colour those yellow. Lila wears purple gear normally, so I can put that in. Is that one? Yep. And she has no colour sense, so I'm going to draw her apron pink. And we can start putting the skin colour now. It's not such a good skin colour. It's probably better. Anyway, I won't bore you with how I set this up. I'll come back later with the finished cartoon. I normally like to put in a graded background. It's probably not too bad. I've coloured in the characters and grouped them so that I can just, for instance, pull Elvin over here, maybe make him a bit bigger. So this is where the cartoon ends up once I've finished working in CorelDraw. I export it, and I can then upload it into Blogger. And here I've got a blog called Meet the People, which is purely my cartoons, very occasional. I'll just shift my picture. In fact, I'll make it full screen. So I've used Loom to record my work. I've used a fairly ordinary scanner, I've taken a video of it with my phone, used the ability of Loom to capture a screen. You can talk through what the process you're doing, and importantly, record it. I had to do a bit of trimming in Loom. I've then used another bit of software to just stick them all together. It's pretty straightforward capability, but the format's all in a format that I can either share on Facebook Live or on YouTube. So I think Loom is a perfect tool for you to start showing your work. It's a very good bit of software to enable you to share your work very naturally, and it's going to help in the long term convince people of your authenticity and perhaps establish a really good provenance for you going forward. Anyway, see ya.